Welcome to episode 101 of the Focus Cast.
Very nice, bro.
A lot has changed.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
We started off with the Focus Cast. This will be a quick recap. Getting drunk in my room, recording about random subjects.
Yeah, that was phase one.
Phase 1. Phase 2, a little bit less drinking.
Yeah. I mean, I would say phase two was from episode 1 to episode 100 was our journal.
Basically.
We set out to increase our focus.
Right.
And through that, we found absolute transformation.
So here's what happens. When you listen to podcasts and try and learn new information and expand your well of knowledge,
Yeah.
and just kind of grow every day doing this for a podcast, even if no one listens to it, the growth you gain from that is really the most important part.
Yeah.
It wasn't even really about the listeners. I mean,
No.
It wasn't about having a bunch of listeners.
Which is what everyone says when they don't have a lot of listeners.
Yeah. How about this? We grew enough to where I'm okay with the fact that we still don't have many listeners.
There you go.
Boom.
That's the way to say it.
There we go.
Yeah. Our personal growth was so significant in the past 2 years
Yeah.
that who cares?
Yeah. So phase 3.
Phase 3. So we introduce ourselves,
Oh, yeah. I'm Jonathan Noel.
and I'm Brian Noel,
This is the Focus Cast.
where we help founders reduce distractions, increase focus so we can live a life with intention.
Yep.
So yeah, that was phase 1, phase 2. And on Instagram, I wrote the shift in internal scripts from my therapy work. So I thought this would be a good way to kind of close out a phase 2 recap, which is we got dialed in, bro. We set up the office here in Kennesaw, got a new podcast studio, a bunch of new equipment, and really worked on the art of podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
And then you and I both kind of individually went really deep on just increasing our mental focus and whatever we want to call it.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Or just awareness in the health space.
Transformation is kind of overused now,
Yeah, well, yeah.
but we can just say it's been very good.
I feel different
I feel different too.
today than I did on January
2022, 2023.
2023.
Yeah.
And going back and listening to the old episodes, I mean, they're pretty funny because we're just giggling.
Yeah.
You know, there's nervous laughter.
Yeah.
We're saying things and just laughing.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's like for the listener. I don't know if that's obnoxious
Yeah.
or if it's,
They're giggling with us.
charming,
Yeah, I don't know.
or if it's like, I can barely listen to this and this is awful. But that was us easing into this.
Yeah.
You know?
And then we got into some good subjects, like when I had some milestone moments, we got into disassociation, we got into the internal family systems,
Yep.
fear, talked a lot about fear last year,
Mm-hmm.
and but man, wow, what a transformation.
No doubt.
So here are some scripts that
Let's
in
hear these.
2023 are changed. So when I say script, what I mean by that is a mental internal narrative.
Nice.
So a core belief at the subconscious level that I wasn't aware of.
Okay. And you had some scripts change last year.
Yeah. So, first one, you should hate. So one thing that I was struggling with, I'm not someone who just hates people or hates things, but I hated the government. I hated the globalist. I hated a lot of things, and I just had a lot of internal hate subconsciously that I didn't really know was there.
Yeah.
And I hated myself. So the new script is to hate externally is a reflection of hate internally.
Yeah.
The good and bad in the world is just a projection of the good and bad that I am capable of.
What is it? As above, so below.
Yeah. I've never heard that before, but I like that.
Basically, well, yeah, whatever's going on the outside for you is really a reflection of how you feel on the inside.
Yeah. So what I can honestly say, and I'm sure, like, as I read these, it's very important to say, these aren't like I flipped a switch. These are just new scripts that now, when I hit triggers or experience tough times, I get to now lean into the new script.
Yeah.
And not be unaware of the subconscious and just freak out.
Right.
So, the second one is the world is ending. I spent a lot of time
Yep.
and a lot of hours.
Yep. On the old
On the old
Instagram
yeah.
conspiracy corner,
Big time.
where everything, and even though most things are a scam and things of that nature, and
Yeah.
there is a lot to ponder,
Yeah.
let's say,
Well, here's my new script.
what's the new script?
You ready for this? It always has been. And I'm not of this physical world anyway.
It doesn't matter.
The world's been ending since it started.
Yep, for someone somewhere, or for some reason or another, it's felt like their world was ending.
Yeah.
And that's, maybe it's by design or not. Depends on who you're talking to. But
Yeah.
a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt pumped into the collective consciousness
Yeah.
to keep people in that state. Anyway,
Yeah. But the new script, I'm not of this physical world anyway. The fear of the world ending is fear of losing myself before I found myself.
mhm,
Like, the world can't end. I don't even know who I am yet,
mhm,
you know? But now it's like, I'm not of this physical world. Like, it doesn't matter. This really doesn't matter. And here's what's so wild.
mhm.
I don't spend, first of all, I did a major overhaul on my social feeds to where I'm not just constantly
Yeah.
in the algorithms getting fear porn.
Same. I had to unfollow or delete. Yeah.
So now, if before I would spend hours watching that shit.
Mhm.
Now, if I just get 5 minutes of it, I'm just like, nope,
Yep.
not today.
Yep.
It's amazing.
It's way better.
Yeah.
What is the quick thing from, what did TJ say? What you focus on gets bigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you only focus on the world is ending,
Your world is ending.
literally, because you're letting it consume you.
Yeah. Until you die of a panic attack.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one is this business must succeed. It's got to succeed. I've got to make it work. I've got to make it work because my value is tied into that. But here's the new script. I will be curious and creative forever, however that plays out.
Yep. There's plenty of businesses to start.
Plenty of
There's
projects.
plenty of ideas.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah. Yep.
That's when you're more tied to the outcome than the actual work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's great is that's been tested. That one's been tested for the past couple of, 2 months.
Yeah.
Because some things are taking a little longer or not working.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm literally in the moment. I'm just like, you're not upset about that? I'm just like, I'm not really upset about that.
No.
It's pretty wild. The next one is be present with your family because that's your job. That's the script. That was the manager in the internal family system. The new script is, I am nowhere but where I am.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell myself to be present. I am present.
Yep.
I don't have to manage my presence. I'm present. And that's very new for me.
Yep.
Like,
That's moving past disassociation.
yeah, that's a big one.
That's a different reality for you.
Oh my gosh. I love it. You are inadequate to provide for the future. So, we talked about this quite a bit. If you obsess in disassociation, if you obsess over the future, you're anxious. If you obsess over the past, you're depressed.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do enough. I'm not doing enough. For me, I lived in that. I'm not doing enough. So
Right.
the new script is, there is no future. Future doesn't exist.
It's pretty simple, huh?
I fed my family today.
I mean, the future is not determined.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee that it will be there.
Yeah. I mean, it literally doesn't exist. The only thing that exists is right now.
Yeah. So you can obsess about, it's basically like the boogeyman.
Yeah.
Like,
It really is.
Anyway.
Yeah. You are dead.
Yeah, you thought you were dead inside?
Yeah. I felt dead inside. So this was a big one. My existence is completely separate from my father's desire for me to exist.
Mm-hmm.
So I still was attached to this need
Mm-hmm.
for my father to need me to be alive.
Mm.
And whether he did or not,
That didn't even matter.
it didn't even matter. But I detached from that. That was a good old wrestle. I remember that day. The next one is you are cursed.
Yeah. So I think
You remember these?
I don't
'Cause
know,
we
but
talked about them over the year.
I think that there's probably a decent amount of people who have this script.
Yeah, I am cursed.
They think they're cursed because they always, they always hit the red light. They always do this. It never goes right. They always get the parking ticket.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Get the bad partner, get the bad business partner, get the bad friendship, get the
Yeah.
bad boss. So the new script is God did not sacrifice me to Satan.
Wow.
I thought that it's funny. It's not like I was walking around like,
You didn't think that
I wasn't consciously thinking,
that you were sacrificed.
but through some heavy, deep EMDR
Yeah.
and therapy work, I realized that I thought God left me for Satan in the crib when I was about 6 months old. I went back to that space. Anyway, but he did not, and he was there all along, and he's there. The creator has always been.
Yeah.
So,
It's nice.
yeah. It's really nice.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
Unconditional love is way better than abandonment.
Yeah. Yes. All right, this is the last one. You ready for this? You're
Yeah.
going to love this.
Okay.
Masculinity is managing misery without fucking up.
Yeah. That's a hell of a
How
script
many
to carry.
men can relate to that?
I mean, that's a heavy script to carry around all the time.
I mean, I'm going to read it one more time. I like how many M's it was, too. Masculine, and again, these weren't like things I was saying in my conscious. These are things that I learned that were buried deep in my subconscious, internal scripts. Masculinity is managing misery without fucking up.
Yeah.
And my new script that I wrote here is, nope.
Nope. Wrong.
That's not true. That's not true.
That's simply not true.
Masculinity is beautiful.
Yeah. You heard it here, folks.
Masculinity is magnificent. So that's just a small taste of, I've been kind of, the holidays, and I had some time, and so I've just been kind of reflecting on the last year and some of the awesome, incredible milestones that I've been so fortunate to hit or go through.
That's wonderful. Imagine what 2024 is going to do.
I wrote it was in preparing for my last therapy session in January, so the new year. I said, how does one celebrate or plan for a new year when time doesn't exist? That was my first line. And that's what we'll talk about today, because it's really interesting that in our phase 3 of the Focus Cast, it's not really because it's 2024. We just kind of naturally fell into this every 50 episodes is when we just decide to move into whatever's next. It's like 50 episodes is a
decent
nice
cycle.
sprint. Yeah.
Not to mention every winter, it seems like when it's winter and you're inside a lot and you're just sitting there plugging away on a computer, you start to realize what you despise and what you don't want to do with your time.
Yeah.
So we're in a dungeon right now. Let's be real. There's no windows.
Yeah.
Concrete walls.
Yeah.
And it's tough.
Yeah. This wall that you're seeing right here is ground.
Yeah.
That's literally earth behind that concrete wall. So we are 12 feet under.
Literally. It feels like it sometimes.
We're deeper than a grave, bro.
It's a grave of our own design.
Yeah.
But that's not to say this hasn't been a great opportunity. And that
It's amazing.
and we haven't learned a shitload of things last year.
It's balance, right?
Right.
So how did this happen? So now talking about the next phase.
Right. So,
What happened?
well, we bounced a couple of things off of each other, but I was like, I'm not really seeing the value.
Yeah.
We don't really have an audience.
Yeah.
There's no one saying like, maybe there are there.
Yeah.
We don't have.
We're not getting
I wasn't
feedback.
feeling the feedback like, hey, no feedback at all. So it's like, so I wasn't really feeling the value in doing any of it.
Yeah.
It's one thing. I get a personal trainer, or I get anyone.
Yeah.
If you're doing something and people are like, hey, this is great. Thank you.
Yeah.
I received something from this.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's not like we expected that to happen after 2 months.
Yeah. I mean,
I was reaching that point, though, because
Yeah.
it had been a couple of years
It's been
now.
2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's totally fine.
Yeah.
And then we're also inside a lot.
Yeah.
So when I brought that up, and then you're like, I don't want to be. You brought up we need to go on a hike or something. How did you word it?
I want to destroy myself physically.
Right. It kind of started too.
This was so kind of timeline wise. So at the end of last year, I was like, I've got this whole series for founders, and I still have it. Mm-hmm. But the motivation and the desire to fully write out that, make sure it's of quality, and deliver that, I was like...
Felt like torture.
Felt like torture.
Yeah.
And this was Thursday. So we had planned on doing it, but we kind of pushed it off. Planned on doing it, kind of pushed it off. Got really made some cool music that we're going to release right before the Christmas break. Mm-hmm. So we just really had some fun on some music, and and then it was Thursday last week.
Mm-hmm. And today's Monday.
And I came in, and I could see it on your face that you were like, "All right, bro." Like previous last week when we were talking about it. And I was like, we're going to do this for founders. And I could see it on your face. You're like, I support you. And then I was just like, I came in and I was just like, I can't do it.
It felt impossible.
And now 12 months, I started therapy January 22nd, I think, of 2023. Mm-hmm. So I'm coming up on a year of intense, about 35 therapy sessions, breath work, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And something is absolutely calling me to physically go nuts, to just wreck the body.
To have some physical challenges.
Yeah.
Because I've never had those. You know, there's people who plan whatever, their Ironmans or their 5Ks or marathons or whatever the hell they do.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be.
Whatever.
I've never had those kind of goals.
Me either.
I just do it. I go on hikes. I've been on a 20-mile hike.
Yeah. We ride.
We go mountain biking.
A lot.
You know, and it's not like we have to hit 100 miles. It's more like we just have to have enough fun.
Yeah.
It's more like a fun meter.
It really is.
But, you know, I realized I definitely had to do there's a 357-mile ride.
Yeah.
And, like, you were on board pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
I think we were both going to do it no matter... I wanted to do it no matter what.
Yeah.
And I figured you were going to do that.
Yeah.
So...
Well, it came up last year.
It came up last year, but it wasn't enough time to prep.
No.
Because we're not David Goggins yet. I'm just kidding. But to only have like a couple of months to prepare for something like that.
Well, we weren't mentally there either.
We weren't mentally ready.
Yeah.
We didn't have that mental... I didn't have that mental fortitude.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I do, but I will.
Yeah.
So we're doing a 357-mile bike ride across North Georgia.
Yeah.
It's going to be trails and gravel.
Yeah. A lot of climbs, 35,000 feet in elevation.
Try and do it in 5 days. That's how long the race is open.
Yeah.
So in that comes conditioning.
Yeah.
Real conditioning. I've never done real conditioning.
Me either. Didn't play sports in high school.
I've been physically active.
Yeah.
Racquetball, mountain biking, hiking, whatever. But I've never done like conditioning with focus.
Yeah. I've never
with a goal.
Done. Yeah. And I've never, on top of that, a physical activity where I'm crying because I hurt so bad, but I keep going.
Yeah.
I've never had that happen before.
Or you reach that point where your body's screaming to quit, but you have to keep going.
Yeah. Now I've been in my shed and I've cried because I didn't want to do anything else in life. But that was mental. I've never experienced that physically. So it's time.
It's time.
And here's the way for me personally, my coming to this conclusion of like phase 3 is physical. Time to kill ourselves physically. Is
I don't know. Killing is pretty harsh, but yeah,
it's gonna feel like that. Pushing past the body screaming.
Yes.
Quit. Right.
Yeah.
For me, it's a couple of things. So this is how I got to this. Since my significant, I know people say ego death a lot, and that's fine. all of these things mean very different things to a lot of different people, right?
Totally.
Everyone's experience is very individual. So
Yeah.
anyway, but for the sake of whatever I want to call it, not explaining it for 10 minutes, for my major ego death experience on November 11th, 2023, from then, I've read a lot. So I've just been super curious.
Yeah.
My curiosity level has just went through the roof. Yeah,
Explode.
So, explode.
Exploded.
So I'm on like, I don't know, 25, 26 books. I'm just like constantly consuming. And out of all this, I think for me, I've personally articulated kind of the whole picture of the thing, right? And that is there's trauma.
Right.
Trauma spreads our mind out, right? Where we're fragmented.
Yeah.
And then when we do mental work, then that defragments and kind of pulls us back in alignment to what? Our body. So now that I've done 12 months, and that's not going to stop. It's not like I'm going to stop doing the mental work and start doing the body work.
Yeah.
Just to continue to even go deeper.
To integrate the physical.
Yeah. I want to do both mind and body work this year. And really push myself physically like I was able to push myself mentally last year.
Yeah.
And that's where it was just like, bro.
There's I imagine, doing these kind of bigger challenges for physical helps you confront other things.
Yeah.
It all kind of adds to the same machine here of us being a person.
Yeah.
You know, it all adds to the portrait.
Yep.
You know, each brushstroke or whatever.
Yeah, I like
However
that.
you want to put the shit. Doesn't matter if you're confronting a massive race.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to help you confront maybe something you don't want to do, a hard conversation,
Yeah.
being real with yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't want to do this business, or I don't want this, whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Insert situation. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all one system. So
Yeah.
it's increasing that level of confront in a new way,
Yeah.
and, you know, testing yourself.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
There's really no reason not to. I mean,
Well,
we have these bodies. I don't have to. I mean, I don't want to destroy myself to where I'm mangled.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not about that.
Right.
But I don't have to die in pristine condition.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay if I'm a little, you know, I want to use the body.
Yeah.
You know, not necessarily borderline crippled by the time I'm 65. Not like that.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying.
Well, that goes both ways, right? Like inactivity.
Same thing. Inactivity is you're also destroying your body.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but, you know, I guess I'm not going to start whatever, playing football with,
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Boxing without helmet,
Yeah.
gear, headgear. Yeah, 100%, right? And that's, I mean, we talked about The Body Keeps the Score because that was a book I was reading last year, and that was pretty eye-opening for me. And my friend just sent another book about the body and our relationship to the body and our mind, and so I'm pretty excited to read that. But, I mean, you know, I mean, I was last year when I learned that, you know, a lot of the mental game we think is like somewhere in our head that we evolved into, right? So we kind of forget that our body stores trauma, you know, and the best.
So basically, the whole body is a storage unit.
Yeah.
For everything.
For everything.
Yeah.
And every cell has capacity to
That's
store.
why you have random memories come up in massage therapy.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Could be completely benign memory. It could be so random, not totally neutral.
Yeah.
But it'll just.
It's absolutely wild.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so now what that looks like for us on the Focus Cast is, and I want to record more outside. Like I had the random idea of like us doing this in the woods, you know, which technically requires some work, but like Friday we went and hiked. So I came in on Thursday, and I was like, bro,
This is torture.
This
Let's
is
change it
torture.
up.
Let's change it up.
Yeah.
Forget everything that we just decided that we were going to do.
Yeah.
And let's just go nuts physically. Let's go do some challenging things in the future. And let's just film more outside. Let's just get it more outside. And I mean, if you look at our social feeds, like if you look at TikTok, it's literally this profile for like 10,000 clips, you know? So they'll see more of us outside and just more of our personality and more of our individuality and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Versus two dudes in a studio, which is two white dudes in a studio is...
There's plenty of that.
There's plenty of that content in the world. So, and there's plenty of content of...
Two white dudes in the woods.
Yeah, but that's
But
just...
there's not enough... I'm just... Whatever. Anyway, yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so for us, getting outside, doing these challenging things, and then, you know, I'm, you know, still our desire to include founders, serve founders, all that kind of stuff, that won't change. In fact, before the hike on Friday morning, because if anyone knows me personally, they know that I'll text them and be like, hey, what are you doing right now? You want to go on a hike? Or you want to go on a weekend trip? And but I called like 10 people.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, we're going to a hike. We're going to do Pine Mountain 5 times, 4,000 feet elevation.
Yeah.
It's 10 minutes down the road. And I was just like, you want to join me?
It's a short hike, but we were just going to do it up and down.
Yeah, over and over again.
Yeah, 5 times.
So, and 2 people came out. So I'm going to keep doing that. I'm just going to invite people out.
Technically a third.
Oh, that's right. Carter showed up at
Yep.
the last time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 people.
Yeah.
You know, and that was just.
And just think by the end of 2024, we'll send the mass text. We might have 30 people.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of shit I want.
Yeah.
You know, why not?
Why not?
Because, I mean, maybe we've talked about this before, but we had our friend out, Chad,
Yeah.
you know, on one of the Forerunner Gunner trips.
Yeah.
And we rode, gosh, how much did we ride on that one? 20-something miles.
Yeah, 20-something miles.
And we're eating some amazing food, steak sandwiches.
After a cold plunge.
After cold plunge, and Chad was like, you know, he's a busy dude with kids, a family, and he's like, what did he say? This is one of the best weekends I've had in
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
You know, that physical release.
Yeah.
And I think this is a little different for guys. I'm not saying women don't get the amazing sensation, but there is something where you almost, maybe you can do it in other ways, bro, that I don't know about. But there's something very, I can think of some, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's something about that physical release.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's absolutely necessary, but it damn sure feels good.
Yeah.
To do a bike ride and a cold plunge, and you just finally feel like yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
We've mastered, well, I won't say we've mastered, but we've got the best ingredients, and that's physically riding until we can't anymore, doing a cold plunge, and then making an epic meal from scratch.
Yeah.
And then sitting by a fire and eating it.
You know what I realized about it? What makes a really good mountain biking trip is usually the first like 70% of it is amazing, and the last 30% you're ready to be done.
Yeah.
But that 30% actually makes it better because you force yourself to keep going.
Yeah.
I'm just now realizing that as we're talking about it.
Yeah. And that's what makes the cold plunge so great.
Yeah.
Because for me, I mean, usually my back starts hurting. When we do these long rides and it's rocky, my back starts hurting.
Yeah.
Something, you know, or if we're going downhill, my wrist, my arms, and all
Yeah.
that. And then I start to crave, like when we went to Chicopee and my legs locked up.
Yeah.
And then I craved the cold plunge.
Right.
Because the cold plunge makes all that pain go away. I mean,
Yeah.
it literally disappears.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the cold plunge, we haven't eaten all day, minus a couple snacks, because you and I both don't eat breakfast.
Yeah.
So we've you know, done 20 miles, 30 miles, haven't eaten but a couple snacks, drank a ton of water, got the cold plunge, and then we eat an epic meal.
That is the perfect formula.
It really is.
So, all that to be said, we heard it from Chad.
Yeah.
It was a great weekend. He needed it.
Yeah.
He literally needed it.
And that was the immediate feedback that we got.
Right.
That felt great.
Right.
Knowing that some guy
Yeah.
that hadn't been on a Forerunner Gunner trip, we went on one of them before.
Yeah.
But like a guy that two totally different circles. He's not in the studio all day on a podcast talking about focus.
Yeah.
Came out, hung out with us, and had a great time.
Well, now the point is let's expand on that and keep going.
Yeah, let's do more of that.
So 30 people out on the hike.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? Why not?
There's no reason not to invite them.
Yeah. Crazy hikes. Insane.
Skydiving.
Yeah.
Squirrel suits down the mountain.
Is that physically? I mean, I guess that pumps a lot of
Adrenaline.
endorphins. Yeah. But yeah, so that's 2024. So we're just gonna get a lot of outside footage randomly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna track our progress and post progress on social. Like on Friday, we started at 10 o'clock. We did.
I want to be able to hike like 25 miles and not feel like I'm dying.
Yeah, we did.
And like not flat either.
Right.
Like some elevation.
Yeah, we did for our first hike in this journey. We did 12 miles, 4,000 feet elevation in 4.5 hours.
We pretty much power walked it too.
Yeah, we power walked 4 hours, 12 miles of. I mean, 4,000 feet elevation is not nothing.
Yeah. It's not like we're not pioneers,
Yeah,
but it doesn't matter. That's a starting point.
yeah, that's the starting point.
It's January.
Yeah. So we're
So
going
we'll
to
see
keep
where
doing
we're
that
at.
hike when we
Yeah.
can't ride, and we're going to add sandbags. So get up to 50 pounds. We'll be able to do that.
More, yeah, either more times up and down or weight, and eventually both.
Yeah. And then Monday or tomorrow, we're going to do, I think the most we've done on the mountain bike is like 26 miles in a day. I think, because
Something
Mulberry,
like
we
that?
did 26 and then
Was it?
16 the next day.
Okay, yeah.
And that was pretty physically demanding because we did that 1.5 mile hike
Hike
and
and
bike
bike.
situation.
Lifting the 30-pound bike over
Yeah.
40 logs,
Yeah.
40 fallen trees.
Yeah.
That was a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But
So tomorrow's goal, it's January 10th tomorrow, I think, or whatever. The race is in August.
right.
I think it's like August 15th.
Mm-hmm.
And the race is 360-ish miles,
Yep.
35,000 feet of elevation. So
So we have to be able
In
to
5
we have
days.
to get to the point where we can do 70 miles
In a day.
A little over 70, like 71 point something a day.
Yeah.
For 350, I think it's 357 miles
Yeah.
in 5 days.
yeah,
Right? That's the math?
yeah,
Okay.
something like that. So now we started training on Friday with a hike, and then tomorrow our goal is 30 miles, which is like 5-10 minute breaks at each 10-mile mark, and hit 30 miles. And our terrain here is more difficult when we train, which is good because it's more single track elevation versus the race itself is a lot of gravel.
A lot of gravel, but a lot of climbing.
Yeah, a lot of climbing. Lot of
Which
climbing.
our friend Clay, he's a freak who likes to climb.
Yeah,
And
he
he just,
also
like-
weighs like 90 pounds.
And his bike weighs like 4 ounces.
Yeah,
And so he just flies up the hills.
yeah,
Like literally flies up them. So we got to get to that point where climbing is easy.
yeah,
And it is easy for short periods of time.
yeah,
But, we're not doing like a 10-mile climb
yeah,
like easily for fun.
Yeah.
That's just not something I do.
yeah,
But we need to get to the point where we can do 10-mile climb
yeah,
like without it feeling like much.
yeah.
Road bikers right now are like mountain bikers, no stamina.
So the other thing I want to try, bro. So I've told you I want to do Tai Chi.
Yeah.
The reason I'm interested in Tai Chi is because of the full range of movement and stretching that you get in Tai Chi. And it's also very meditative practice. So it's kind of the reason, and I've never done Tai Chi. This is just my assumption based on looking at people do it. But based on the movements, it's very flowy, which I like. It's very stretchy, which I need. And it's a lot of balance work. So it kind of incorporates balance,
Yeah.
meditation, and range of motion.
It's great.
So I want to do
Tai
that.
Chi is amazing. It only takes about 10 years for it to really feel natural for you.
Yeah. Well,
No, Tai Chi is, I've only done it a handful of times too.
what's the saying? 10 years from now, I'll be really glad I started today.
Yep. Damn right. Oh, I love it because
Yeah.
it's about moving energy.
Yeah.
You know, for some people, they're going to be like, what the hell does that even mean? But whatever.
Yeah.
Moving the energy, the chi through the body. It's great.
Yeah. What's Thai mean?
No idea.
THI? CHI?
I don't know.
Why is the first Thai I and the second I-E? Tai Chi? Anyway, whatever. So, yeah. I want to add that.
Some Tai Chi.
And then I want to,
Just-
I really want to get a personal trainer to work on core and upper body strength, just to yell at me and make me do 50 push-ups.
Yeah, upper body.
Yeah,
My upper body, it needs some love.
yeah,
You know, years of mountain biking, I'm not saying like my legs are
trunks.
trunks, but it's not balanced. My legs have way more strength and stamina with my doing leg workouts than I do upper body.
Yeah, you got them thunder thighs.
Thunder thighs.
Yeah, and then
I've been kind of known for the calves, calf daddy.
calf daddy.
But, you know, with martial arts, it's not all, I mean, yeah, your leg strength. Actually, when you lose your legs, you lose your life.
Yeah,
It is important because your legs are everything. It's how you get around. But I need to work on some upper body strength and definitely core. I've been avoiding core strength basically my whole life.
Yeah,
Because
me too.
I don't like sit-ups
yeah,
because it makes my back hurt.
yeah,
When you say it like that, it makes you sound like a 10-year-old. It makes my back hurt. I don't like sit-ups.
Well,
But
it's-
and these are the things that you realize, like, I've been avoiding this for too long.
yeah,
It's time to just, the things that are easy now.
yeah,
It is easy to go mountain biking.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do scissor kicks
Yeah.
for 10 minutes. So we can keep doing the easy shit for the rest of our lives and be the exact same person
Yeah.
and never learn and just live in the loop.
yeah,
And that's fine if you want to do that.
yeah,
I realize now what I've been avoiding. A lot of things.
yeah,
And this is one of them.
yeah,
So upper body strength. I want to be able to do 100 push-ups too.
yeah,
In like one sitting.
yeah,
Right now I can maybe do like 30.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, pull-ups.
and that's, in one sitting, but also multiple times too, if I really
Yeah.
need to.
Yeah, speaking of things that we want to do, if I'm stuck in a hole and I can't even pull myself out,
That's not good.
it's not good. The other thing is, if there's 50 zombies behind me
Yeah.
and there's a lake in front of me, I'm not a good long-distance swimmer.
I've been avoiding swimming basically my whole life too because
Yeah.
I'm not great at it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it right now.
me too.
I am a slow, inefficient, dog shit swimmer.
Yeah, me too.
At the moment,
Yeah,
not forever. Remember the growth mindset?
that's right.
And that needs to change as well.
Yeah. I mean, I almost drowned when I was a kid, so I always blamed it on that. I mean, I can swim.
I can swim too.
Yeah.
I mean, I can limp around in the water.
Yeah.
I don't know if I call it swimming, but
Yeah.
I can
I can swim from one side of the pool to the other.
Yeah. I can do, 30 yards?
Yeah.
And then I'm like getting ready to stop.
I don't know how to float.
I feel like I just sink,
Yeah, me too.
even when I do all the things you're supposed to do. So, this is great.
Yeah.
This is something we've both been avoiding as well.
Yeah. That'd be funny if us brothers took swimming lessons.
Yeah. Well, then we can do the triathlon.
Yeah.
I basically wrote off triathlons as long as I've been doing physical activity because of swimming.
Me too.
Because I'm like, I can't. These are the things you tell yourself, the
Yeah.
scripts. I can't swim.
Yeah.
I just haven't learned how to be more efficient at it
Yeah.
yet.
Yet. I mean, all we gotta do is take lessons.
Yeah.
There's got to be some technique.
I didn't know how to edit.
That's true.
Everything I know how to do, I didn't know how to do at some point.
Yeah.
So, it's just that simple.
You know, I've always been good at eating Oreos.
You didn't have to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
That just came naturally.
I mean, I don't know. Kids choke on stuff, so I guess I'd learned how to swallow at some point.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's exciting, bro. Learn how to swim.
Yep.
For some reason, I want to take dance lessons.
Why not? You and
Why not?
Elizabeth can
Samba around.
samba around, spice it up.
Spice it up. Spice it up.
Yeah.
Nice.
How long have we been rambling? Nice.
38 minutes.
So, anything else?
So we're just gonna keep. Honestly, now it's. I mean, we've said this. I'll say it again. This has been more of a journal for us, which is great.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna journal this next phase, which is setting some physical goals. The 360-mile race is the big goal for the year. It's gonna take a lot of training, and so we're gonna start training for that. We're gonna do that. I think if I can, I'm gonna hire photographers and videographers to go out with us to capture that moment.
And if you want to go out and try it, it's the TNGA.
Yeah, TNGA.
If you want to hop in with us.
Yeah, that'd be killer.
I want us to, by the time we're approaching it, because it seems, I wouldn't say scared, but apprehensive.
Yeah.
You know, I understand the task at hand
Yeah.
to a degree.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like all high fives, like, this is going to be sick.
Yeah. I'm a little nervous.
I'm a little nervous.
Yeah. My gooch is nervous.
My gooch is way nervous. It's the most nervous thing. It's my gooch is terrifying.
I got those gooch bumps.
Yeah. So,
Goosebumps.
but by the time we get there, to where it feels like you conditioned.
Yeah.
You feel prepared. That's the word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not like a fish out of water.
Yeah.
So, and I think just having this goal in August and the amount of conditioning we're going to do, by the time we get there, we'll be completely different.
Oh my gosh.
Completely different people.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's great.
It's great.
It seems like a good time frame and a good goal, a nice something to work towards.
Yeah.
It seems intimidating enough.
Yeah.
That's what I realized. I don't really ever set intimidating goals for myself, ever.
Yeah.
You know, there's people who do that,
Yeah.
one after the other.
Yeah.
I've been comfortable. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
I've been sitting in comfort for my whole life. We're just really get down to the meat and potatoes here. It's just that simple. So I don't want to sit in comfort only.
In the words of the warehouse staff at the office, you've been living your cushy little Nerf life.
Yes. Well, let's see if I can wiggle my way out of the comfy, the comfortable whatever bed I've made for myself.
Yeah. Well, I think I've set aggressive business goals and financial goals and all that kind of stuff, and that kind of life is what annoyed me, right? In therapy, that's what I'm not doing anymore. Constantly was like, this has got to work, this has got to work. So for me, it's very therapeutic to where now in business, I'm honestly just like, whatever.
Yeah.
I've asked myself over the past couple of weeks, is it true? Is it gonna come back? Because I've obsessed over entrepreneurialism and trying to be successful as an entrepreneur and a business person most of my adult life.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, if I have to get a job, I have to get a job. If this business works, if it doesn't, I'll try another one. Like, I honestly, it feels so good to not give a fuck.
But I feel like that's what being an entrepreneur is. I feel like,
we'll see.
I mean,
This is the first time I've ever been
I
in
almost
this
feel like
stage.
the mindset is I'll do whatever I have to do in this moment, but I know that there's more opportunities. I almost feel like entrepreneur mindset is you see opportunities more than limiting them,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So that's,
We'll see.
yeah.
For me, anyway.
Yeah.
We'll see if not being so focused on it has to work makes it actually work more. We'll see. I don't know.
Who knows? Because there's all the, half of the internet, not half, but a lot of the internet is just like the grind culture stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It might not work now because I don't care.
And that's almost, honest, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
Because it's like, do you force yourself to make it work even though you want to die?
Yeah.
Because that's what it takes?
Yeah.
Or do you just work on something that feels lighter to your spirit
Yeah.
and you can actually work harder on it without feeling like you're dying. I'd rather work hard on something that doesn't make me feel like I'm dying.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel that hard.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I think the big question there, and again, this is a whole nother episode that we can do one day in the woods if we want, but why does it have to work? You know?
Yeah. What is it working even? What does that even mean? It worked.
Yeah, it worked.
Well,
Yeah, good. Yeah.
What?
What does that even mean?
You
It
know.
worked.
I made $1 million.
Every person I've
worked.
ever met that got to a point, all they were doing was obsessing about the next point.
Yeah.
So what does it work even mean? When every single person I've ever worked with,
Yeah.
they met
Oh,
a
we're
goal
profitable.
and they're already in the next goal.
Yeah. Oh, we're profitable. Oh, it's the next,
More money, more profit.
oh, it's $1 million in revenue. Oh, it's 2. And it's 5 and then 10.
Yeah.
It's like more employees, more this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what is,
It worked, quote.
yeah, it worked. I don't know.
Yeah. And though Instagram may make you believe it, multimillionaires doesn't automatically mean that they're just happy. So, whatever.
I think it's not really about the outcome. Being tied to outcomes is not
Yeah.
the best thing
Yeah.
to do.
But this rant for me was saying that I'm excited to have a physical goal
There we go.
because I've never had a physical goal before in my
Same.
life.
Same.
And the physical goal, we are setting out to do the race. We will go do the race. Then the race will be over.
Yeah.
These intangibles, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's nice to, I don't care how many, I honestly am completely removed from this content.
Yeah.
Like if
It
it
doesn't
works,
have
if it
to
doesn't
be-
work, if we decide to stop doing it next week, I don't care anymore.
Same.
I just don't care.
Yeah.
We're doing a podcast right now, today's episode, because we felt like it.
This feels way better.
Yeah.
Honestly,
and we're going to ride tomorrow. 'cause
I'm having more fun on this episode than I've damn near had in the lot.
Yeah.
So
So that
I don't know if we're providing value. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. We felt like sitting down and doing an episode, so we did.
So,
I don't care.
but I'm with you.
Yeah.
I've never done the physical goal. I think this is a great place to start.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys in August. No, I'm just
That's
kidding. It will be cool to track the progress.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in joining our journey,
Well, I got a little nervous when we did our hike on Friday because it was a short hike, 12 miles. We ride 20 plus miles. We kill ourselves on the bike. I'm not sore the next day.
yes,
I did a 12-mile hike, which isn't that long, 4,000 feet elevation. That's not nothing, but I was sore for 3 days afterwards. And I
Right.
was like, damn, I got some work to do.
and I've done. Yeah,
My knees started hurting.
This, let's just call it what it is too. Sometimes my knees, it's not pain, but it feels a little wonky.
Yeah.
When I'm mountain biking. 357 miles. What happens? What happens on day 4? What happens on the 5th day when you've done 70 miles a day? What does your knee feel like? These are things I don't know. I have not been there.
Yeah.
And there's the what's it called? The ultra runners and these mega athletes. Some people are kind of have more experience here. I don't.
Yeah.
I've never felt this shit.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I
I
did-
really want to get someone on the podcast and talk to him about that.
Please.
Like,
We need a couple.
Yeah.
Because I did a 70-mile ride on a road bike on pavement, and my knee was starting to feel a little goofy.
Yeah.
I could, in my taint.
Yeah.
It's building that sitting stamina on the bike.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a whole number of things that we have to figure out.
Yeah. Socks, underwear,
Yeah.
shoes, drinks, food,
Yeah.
pace.
Pace. And it's that's why it's maybe perfect is not the right word, but it's a great goal
Yeah.
because it's scary enough, it's intimidating enough, and it's going to push us enough, and we're going to have to learn quite a bit.
Yeah.
So it's not like, okay, I want to ride whatever, 100 miles in 2 days. Like,
Yeah.
it's not something, it's a big chunk, bro. I'm
Yeah.
kind of nervous now that we're talking about it. So,
Yeah.
yeah. What happens when your knee is like feeling blown out
Yeah. I don't know. I want to ask people.
after 150 miles?
Yeah.
You still have 200 to go.
Yeah.
You know, what about what wrist pain? I mean, we're talking about being on a bike. You know, you think about your ass, you think about your legs. What about your wrist?
Yeah. What about my neck?
What about your neck?
When I do those long stuff and there's a lot of rocks.
What happens
my
on the lower
neck?
back?
Oh, the last one we did, my back was just like killing me.
And so this is what conditioning is going to flush out these
Yeah.
things and see what happens to the body,
Yeah.
you know?
And then we're going to go to our experts and we're going to tell them
Yeah.
what's happening to our body and they're going to tell us what to do.
They're going to say, don't sit on a bike for 9 hours straight and ride 100 miles in one day.
They're like, don't do the least ergonomical thing.
Yeah. So, and those are the things you can only find out by us just putting in a bunch of miles and see how our
happens.
bodies react.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm 34 and you're
41.
41.
Yeah.
So, great.
Our cousin, Stephanie,
Yeah.
she played a lot of sports
Mm-hmm.
and she totally blew out her knee. Had to have a surgery, had multiple surgeries. We were hiking one day at a state park because our family does state parks every year. And, she was talking a little bit about her knee. And I think it was our sister, Thea. I was just in this conversation and Thea said to her, like, how do you deal with it? And her immediate response was you just deal with it. But she's been an athlete. She was an athlete for so long. And
Yeah.
she's always stayed physical.
Right. So that's just the mentality.
That's the mentality. It's like, you just deal with it.
And that's probably what people who have more experience here are probably saying right
Yeah.
now. Like you just keep going.
You just keep going.
You say, "Oh, that's a weird sensation in my knee," and just keep on riding.
Yeah. It's like it's not.
My back hurts.
It's not if your back's gonna hurt or if your knee's gonna hurt. It's just
Win.
win.
You just keep going, I guess.
You're gonna quit. Or you're gonna keep going.
Well, when you're in the middle of nowhere too,
That's true.
where are you gonna go?
Yeah, because that from North Carolina to Alabama and North Georgia, there's some.
Pockets of nowhere.
Even if you wanted to quit, you're gonna have to hike 10 miles to the next road.
yeah.
Like quitting is hiking 10 miles to the next road.
At that point, might as well just keep going.
Might as well keep going.
Might as well hike up the next hill and ride. So,
Yeah.
anyway,
All right.
that's it.
That's it. Episode 101.
Episode 101.
Let's get physical. Physical.